Family, what is going on, people? It is a beautiful Saturday here in the outskirts of Tampa, Florida. So, joining you guys live, man, I'm excited. This is, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's my third live here. So, if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up in the chat. Let me know everything is cool. Hey, what's going on, Mark? I appreciate you, man. Always love seeing you in the chat. So again, if you guys can hear me fine, just give me a thumbs up. Let me know it's all good. But in the meantime, the reason I wanted to, to jump on here today is because, of course, tomorrow is. Appreciate you. Thanks, brother. Bronx. Thank you for the thumbs up, man. So, reason I wanted to do this is because tomorrow is the big, winter excursion that the Florida ski riders do annually. I want to say it is the 10th annual. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the 10th annual winter Dunedin excursion. It's the second of the year. Generally, the biggest ride of the year that they do is the summer Dunedin excursion. But I'll be honest, man, it's the winter one is just as good sometimes. I mean, I've had some good winter excursions, and this weekend's weather, well, tomorrow's weather, is supposed to be really good. I checked the apps that show, the water and in terms of how choppy it's going to be and the wind, and it's going to be really good. Now, the one thing to keep in mind if you are planning to, join the winter excursion is I want to say high tide is right around 10 a.m. So I don't know how much sandbar we'll have because I think that's the time that we'll be either heading to the North Sandbar or we'll probably maybe even be there by then. So the last couple times I've been at the North Sandbar during high tide, it's you barely got a couple places of just pure sand. However, it's still shallow, so you'll be fine. Like I'm not trying to, get anyone worried that, oh my God, I'm not gonna have anywhere to, you know. My dog's at the door. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Give me 1 second, fella. I want to introduce my dog. Hang on 1 sec. Come here, Asher. Come here, buddy. Come here, boy. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on 1 sec. All right. Look at that. Look at him. What y'all think, huh? It's my boy Asher. Say hi to the people. Ash, say hi to the people. Say hi. Hey, look over there. Say hi to the people. All right. Here we go. All right. We'll talk to him later. Anyway, so tomorrow's excursion, again, like I said before, it's going to be high tide. And so it's going to be something to where we're going to have water. However, it's not going to be as much sand as you sometimes normally see in the videos. That's my guess. But we'll see. We'll see when we get there. So anyway, so tomorrow's going to be exciting. Now, what I wanted to do for this live, just to give you guys an idea of like, hey, why am I going live, is if you plan on joining the ride and this is your first time, maybe second time, maybe you're thinking about going, you're not sure, you've heard stories about big rides, maybe not such good stories about big rides. I'm here to tell you, it's not bad. Water temperature, all right. I'm going to be wearing my wetsuit because of that. I don't know exactly what the water temperature is. However, I was out on the water 2 weeks ago, I think it was, in the bay. And the water is definitely colder. It's not the coldest, but, I'm going to wear at least minimally, the wetsuit. I have the two-piece one, so if it gets too hot, I can take the top one off. But I'm going to start off with that. Obviously, the day does warm up, so it does get warmer throughout the day. So I might be taking it off. But I mean, listen, it's better to have it on and take it off than to not have it in. I've done a winter excursion where we were in the low 70s, which we'll have tomorrow, and I was very, very glad that I wore my wetsuit. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. But here are a couple things, right? Because these big rides, sometimes people think, no way, I'm not doing it. I've seen horror stories. Okay, I'm planning on full wetsuit and yeah, that's what you do. Bring your wetsuit because although, here's the trick. When we get there, right, and you're probably going to be at the boat ramp, whichever ramp you launch from, you're going to think, I don't need the wetsuit. It's not that cold. I caution you with that because what's going to happen is you're going to get out on the water's going to hit you. you're gonna get cold. So every time I've actually seen people on days where I wore a wetsuit that were in just shorts, or sometimes girls in just a bathing suit. And by the time we got to the sandbar, they were freezing. So good choice on that. Again, it's better to put it on, and if you get too hot, take it off. That's what I'm gonna do. But anyway, so going back to the thought process of these large rides, right? The thing is this: if you're not a huge fan of being in that clutter, then plan it. Just make sure that you ride to the side. Unfortunately, guys, I've been to so many of these rides, and I'm telling you, I'll speak for myself. Like I've been to a lot of Florida ski rider events, and they really do try and plan it to be as safe as possible, following a lead boat. Don't get too close. And not just Florida ski rider ones. I've been on a couple other, bigger rides. But the problem is this, is that no matter how many times you may say those things, you're always gonna have people that just don't follow rules. You're always gonna have knuckleheads that, for whatever reason, man, think it's cool to just either show off or do this or get it, whatever it may be. Hey, listen, do your thing, man. You don't bother me. I don't take offense to any of that stuff. But the thing is this: you got to plan to potentially see that in action. As much as these rides try not to have that, it happens sometimes. And so what I'm telling you to do is this: plan it, right? So if you're not that familiar with the area, don't go too far to the sides, because sometimes, especially when we're heading out to the sandbar, you do have shallower areas. So just be mindful of that. Like, don't go too far out to the side, but just stay to the side, stay to the back. Don't throw yourself in the middle of the bunch, because that's where you can really start to freak out a little bit. I've been in those middle pack areas before, especially when I'm riding by myself. And it's like a washing machine, and it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's cool and everything, but you have to have your head on a swivel. You have to have your head on a swivel no matter where you are, but especially in those areas. And the biggest problem with that is, although you may be riding safe, you don't control the person next to you. And if that person does something, or they do, they lose control of their ski or something like that, that could, end up in a horrible situation. So these rides are generally, for the most part, very safe, so long as you're taking all the precautions. And one of them is stay to the back, stay to the side, you'll be fine. One other thing that I would definitely tell you is have a buddy if you've got somebody you're riding with, because although, again, like some of these rides try to really stay in, coercion with one another, it's just sometimes there's just too many people where you can't just continuously stop every 5 minutes, especially when you're riding out a long ways, to check on everybody. And so what's going to happen is you're going to have people that get left behind. And let me see here. Oh yeah, I saw that video, man, where people got. Listen, you bring up a great point, and I don't mean to cut myself off here, but when you're on a ski and you're on the water, you have to plan for, this is an oxymoron, but the unplannable. So you have to be able to operate your ski and take care of it. One of the things I was made aware of on that ride is, I don't know if it's true, I wasn't there, but some people didn't want to get in the water to, get all that hydrilla and all that stuff underneath the ski. That's a no-no, man. If you're going to be out on the water and you're going to be riding, you need to be able to take care of your PWC. So if you get stuff stuck in there, you got to get off. You got to get in. You can't rely on anybody else to do that. So yeah, I heard about that. But going back to what I was saying is, have a buddy, have somebody that if something happens, you guys are riding together. So, you can help each other out. There are individuals, I personally know people on these rides that really do make it all about safety, and they really stay behind. As an example, I know that, granted, a ride that I did about a month ago or something like that to celebrate our 10K subscribers, it was only, I think, like 15 of us or something like that. But it was a small enough group that, my my buddy Elliot, he's I've been riding with him for a while now. He took the back, and so there were a couple times where I slowed down to let him catch up, because he made sure everybody was good. But that's a small ride. That's 15 riders. That's not. I don't know what we'll have tomorrow. My guessing is probably somewhere around at least 100, maybe more. That's a huge ride. So have a buddy, have somebody that you're riding with. basically don't fall off too far and be by yourself, because if you get stuck or something happens, So anyway, so going back to that, those are just a couple of things I would tell you. These rides, I'll tell you why they're awesome, because I think sometimes people, speak about, hey, the negative things about these rides, which with everything you're going to have that, but the positives are first and foremost, telling you, meeting new riders or meeting other riders. It's awesome. You're going to have people that love being out on the water. You're going to have people that are there for different reasons. You're going to have families there, depending on if people are going to bring their kids, because the water temperature. But you'll probably have kids there. People that just enjoy being out on the water. It's a great vibe. You get to meet some of the people that you actually watch on social media, whether it's Instagram or whatever it might be. Obviously, you get to meet the dudes from the Florida ski riders that I've known for years. So it's just a great place to meet some folks. One of the things I tell people is, if you ever see me out on a bigger ride or a ride that you're at, I know sometimes it could be a little, some people are a little shy or something like that. Please, not with me. Come up, say hi. That's one of my favorite things. I just love meeting new riders. I love hearing reasons why people love to get out on the water. So all those reasons are great to get out. But yeah, so that's number one. Number two is, when you're out on these big rides, you get to also form what I would call like really good like relationships. And some of the people that I ride more often with, I met at these rides. Like, when I moved down here in 2019, it was just me and my cousin. We were the only people that rode, and I don't really ride with him as much. He's not his ski is down. But over the last couple years, based off the people I've met at these rides, is relationships I've built and people that I go riding with, like solo rides or smaller rides, or some of the YouTube videos that you guys see where we're out exploring rivers and cave diving and all these things. I met these people at rides. Like, I didn't know anybody. When I started this, it was me, myself, and I. Just, I remember my 2020 winter excursion, I think it was, or 2021, one of those. I went by myself, and I met some people. Obviously, spoke a lot with Shan and people from Florida ski riders and all these things, and that's how I made relationships. So I know I'm speaking long time here on that, but whole point being is, trust me, you never know who you're going to meet at these rides that you can hit it off really, really well with, and just enjoy. Even if you're not a content creator, it's not about being a content creator. It's about, there's so many people on forums, right? Like on Facebook. Hey, I'm going to be hitting this place. Who wants to come ride? Blah blah blah. All these things. And as cool as that is, imagine just meeting people on these rides and then setting it up yourself, right? Where you got somebody that you'll definitely be able to ride with. So that to me is one of the best things. So I'm excited for tomorrow. Anclote, North Sandbar, Three Rooker. One thing about that area is, I've ridden there, so many times, like, I don't know, a lot. I don't want to say how many, just a lot. I've been riding there for years. And it's an area where I don't care, man. I've ridden there so much. I know that area like the back of my hand, but it's beautiful. It's just a great area to ride. One of those where, me speaking personally, I don't think I'll ever get tired of riding that area. It's awesome. So I definitely look forward to that. One thing I'm not 100% sure yet is, I think I'm going to be dropping at Anclote. I'm not 100% sure yet. If I'm not at Anclote, I'm probably dropping at Seminole. Those are a decent area away. Give me one second. Let's see here. We're hitting Anclote, Three Rooker, and Honeymoon, then back. Yeah, fuel, you'll be fine. If the only way you'll need fuel is if you're not on 100%. So if you fill it up, you're not even going to be close. I want to say you'll have at least half a tank by the time we're done. So you'll be fine. Extra gas is not going to be an issue. And I'll probably be running. Yeah, you know what? Me too. I think the family, probably the last day or two, kind of bailed on me. The fact that the water temperature is a little cold, I think, fell into that equation for them. But I'll probably be riding solo. However, I have an idea. I think tomorrow I'm going to be doing somewhat of a different video content. I'm pretty sure it'll be a dropping at Anclote as well to meet Becky. Oh, that's awesome. Nice. Good for you. Yeah, those jerseys are cool. I'll be rocking my jersey. So again, there's a 90% chance I'm probably going to be docking from Anclote. But if I don't, it'll be Seminole, but I'm pretty sure it'll be Anclote. But basically what I was saying is, where was I? I just lost my train of thought there. I'm getting old. Oh yeah. So when you get to the boat ramp, no, that wasn't what I was saying. Man, I really did lose my train of thought. Oh yeah, it was about the fuel. Ugh, I'm getting old. Anyway, your fuel, you'll be fine. You won't run into an issue. I've ridden that place millions of times. You'll be good to go. But again, I'm gonna most likely drop at Anclote and head over to the North Sandbar. From the North Sandbar, we almost always do hit Three Rooker Island. From Three Rooker, we generally do hit either Honeymoon or I think it's more often than not Caladesi, but it's right across from each other, on Hurricane Pass. The majority of times I've done this ride, we haven't gone down to Clearwater, but people have that option if you want to go down to Clearwater. For people that are going to be launching from Seminole, that probably makes sense. For people that are launching from Anclote, probably not. But either way, you're going to have enough access to the water, I think, to be able to join the ride. So I plan on, again, leaving from Anclote. That should be fun. But here are a couple other things because I'm maybe wrapping up the live sooner than later because my boys play at 12 o'clock. So I always watch the game. Go Blue for anybody watching. Um, at the boat ramp, here are a couple of things you're going to want to bring to this ride. First and foremost, without a doubt, you need an anchor. You need an anchor, especially because we're going to be at the North Sandbar. We're going to be at these islands. Although the water looks to be really good tomorrow, I thought I heard my dog. Not much current, but either way, you're going to need an anchor. And here's the key. Here's the key, especially on these bigger rides. If you have two anchors, even better. Here's why I say that. There's been so many rides where, the skis will kind of bump into each other because you'll anchor off the front of the ski, but the current is moving the back of the ski all over the place. So if you can, I'll give you my setup, right? Usually what I do is the front of my ski, boom, my Sand Shark Super Sport. It's a sandbar anchor. I'll screw that one in. My ski ain't going nowhere. But then for the back, I'll throw the mini fluke out and I'll tighten it. So therefore my ski doesn't sway back and forth. It literally just stays in one spot. So if you've got two anchors, even better, but minimally you need one. Okay. Number two, bring a snack and bring water. I'm trying to think. There have been a couple times I think where I've seen the boats that sell like water, pizza, stuff like that, but don't count on it. Bring water, bring drinks, bring snacks. We're generally out there for at least 4, 5, sometimes 6 hours. And so you're gonna get hungry, you're gonna get thirsty, and I'm just telling you, like, don't get caught out there without that. So that's a must. For tomorrow, I would tell you if you have, like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you've got a wetsuit, bring it. Much better to take it off than wish you had it on. So I will tell you that. Make sure you have a wetsuit. If you want, you can put on goggles. I don't really ride with goggles. I think sunglasses are good enough, but have some sort of eyewear protection just because sometimes, with all those skis going, I don't know, visually it's just a lot easier to ride when you don't got water being sprayed in your eyes nonstop. So sunglasses is usually good enough for me, but if you want goggles, no worries, you could do that too. What else? Oh, hey, if you've got any sort of GoPro, Insta360, whatever, drone, anything you have to capture, just, memories, bring it. Don't be shy. That's the one thing I will tell people is even if you're not a content creator, even if you have no YouTube, no Instagram, who cares? Nobody cares that you don't have any of that stuff, man. Bring your cameras, capture the moments. One thing I will tell you is, for me personally, when I first started riding, I don't want to say no desire, but I had no thought of creating a YouTube channel or anything like that. I just, if you look back on some of my earliest videos that I posted on YouTube, you can tell those aren't YouTube videos. Those are just videos that I filmed, me, my wife, family, when we went out to to the Keys with the Florida ski riders for the Riva excursion down in Alligator Reef in Key Largo. My first, I don't know how many videos, but they were just to capture memories, and those are some of my favorite videos. I know they don't get the views, of course, but bring your camera, man. Capture it. If you got some of your favorite content creators out there, don't be shy. Capture it on video, do an interview, say what's up, whatever it may be. Like, you'll look back on those videos and be like, damn, that was cool. At least, I do that. And so I'm imagining other people will do that as well. So definitely have the 360. Definitely have your 360s, your GoPros, and film away, capture stuff. Throw your drones up if you got them. Don't be shy. Trust me when I tell you, don't be shy. Um, and I know it's hard. Sometimes people generally are, but that's an advice I would give you. Let's see. Besides that, let me think. Is there anything else you're gonna need? Like really, really need? I mean, if you've got the little chairs that can fold out, I just don't know how much sand we'll have. Well, actually, you know what? Because we are gonna make stops at other islands. Yeah, if you've got some of those chairs that just kind of flip out and you can sit down and hang out, bring those. It's comfortable. Last time my drone went for, listen, I had the same thing happen at the North Sandbar a couple years back. It was my Mavic original Mini, and so that thing went right into the water. But it happens. One of my best friends, Elliot, his Mini 3, boom, same thing over by Egmont. So when you're flying drones above the water, just always know it can happen. But mine was user error, just FYI. I was flying it way too low and I hit the wrong button. But anyway, yeah, I feel your pain on that though. So, but guys, just bring your drones, bring whatever you got, and you bought them for a reason, man. So you might as well use them. What good is having a drone, never taking it out? It's the way I look at it. Is what it is. But again, oh, and by the way, Lewis, I'm wearing this just for you, buddy. Anyway, 12 o'clock game starts, so I got to wrap up my live here soon. But I appreciate you guys. Listen, for those of you guys that are watching the live and coming to the excursion tomorrow, it's going to be fun. The weather is going to be great for November. Okay, we're not in August, so for November the weather's going to be great. Biggest thing with riding that area that I always check is the wind, and sometimes it can get horribly choppy. I've done this ride where you are soaked from top to bottom because the knots are like 15, 16, 18 knots. And from what I see, it's like 3 or 4, something crazy low, especially out for the bay. So tomorrow's weather should be perfect. So that's really, really exciting. And the biggest thing I'll tell you is have fun. Take the things I mentioned into account, right? Especially if you don't want to be in that washing machine that I call in the middle. Stay to the side, stay further back. When we're anchoring places and you don't want your ski banging into others, don't put it so close. Use both anchors. Like the way I look at things is when I properly plan stuff, it usually works out pretty well. So just plan it. Think about the things that you want to do. Think about the images and the videos you want to capture ahead of time. Like if you're at the North Sandbar, one of the tips I would give you that I usually do myself is when I get there, I usually try and get some, if weather permitting, right? If I got the sun and all those things, I usually try to get my shots early on, so I'm not rushing, right? Try to get your drone shots, whatever it is that you're looking for, so that way once you kind of get what you were looking for, you can hang out, you can relax, you can talk to people, do whatever you got to do. But sometimes I think people forget that, right? They start chatting it up, interact, which is great. And then they realize, oh no, I forgot to record this, that, and the other. And they try to grab it at last minute. You hear the horn, it becomes a rush. Like, I don't know. That's just an advice I would give you is try to capture your shots sooner than later. Because when we start to move, there's a lot happening. But that's number one. Number two, even if you're staying behind or to the side, don't veer too far off. Because I do know, even though it is going to be high tide, some of these places do get a little shallow. And if you're not familiar with the area, just something to keep in mind. Number three, bring your food, right? Bring your anchors, bring your snacks. And last but not least, again, don't be shy, man. Have fun, talk to people, meet people. You never know who you'll meet at these excursions. Like I said before, I've met some awesome people that, man, most of my videos from YouTube are people that I've met at these rides. It's just, you meet some awesome people that share the love of the water and being on jet skis. And so it's a good time. So I definitely plan on being there tomorrow, guys. I'm going to wrap up my live here, just letting you know that most likely, Anklote. I usually try and be there early just so I can not feel rushed. But besides, let me see here. My first group ride was with Lewis, and they hosted a phenomenal ride. Yes, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Lewis is on here. Weekend around Lewis. I know we've been in communication around a couple things, so maybe tomorrow we can talk and set something up because it's just been not with ski stuff, but with just work stuff. It's been absolutely nuts. But we gotta, we'll connect, my friend. But yeah, I'm a weekender on the water subscriber. Love the videos, man. So I appreciate you guys for all you guys do. Um, and again, going back to tomorrow's ride, super exciting. If I'm not mistaken, I think weekenders on the water will be there, so that'll be cool to finally link up. I know a couple other people that I ride with are going to be there, so that'll be fun. Um, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, me as well. So we'll have a good time. And the biggest thing I will say to you guys is again, plan it. Make sure that you get there early so you're not rushing, and just enjoy it. It's going to be an awesome, awesome day. If I let something out, I don't know. My apologies, but until then, I appreciate you guys as always. If it's your first time, seeing a live or seeing the channel, appreciate you can hit that subscribe button if the content is stuff that you like watching. And until the next one, man, I got a couple good videos that I'm planning for. So just always stay tuned. All right. So we'll catch y'all on the water tomorrow, Sunday, November 16th at the Florida Ski Riders Dunedin Winter Excursion. It is going to be awesome. Catch you guys there. Let's go.